Hello and welcome to American Teacher TV, American Teacher on YouTube. If you haven't, please give me a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. All right, today I thought I'd start out by congratulating Hsing-Chun, the Taiwanese weightlifter who won gold and set 2 Olympic records today in the 59 kilogram women's weightlifting category. So I was watching this on TV today, and I was watching the first competition was the snatch, and I was watching all the other countries' participants, lift the weights, and I was thinking, where's Taiwan? And then after the other women had completely finished and lifted the most weight that they could possibly lift, then Kuo came on stage and blew the rest of them away. So it was amazing to see because, just looking at her physically, she doesn't look any bigger than the other women who participated in the competition, but she is able to lift much heavier weights than all the other women. In fact, China did not even have a competitor in this event because they knew that Taiwan would win this event. Also, the second event was the clean and jerk, if I'm not mistaken. And the same thing happened again. All the other women competed, and then Kuo came on and blew the rest of them away in the clean and jerk. She attempted to break her world record by lifting 141 kilograms. She didn't quite make it, but she did lift, 130? In the clean and jerk, she lifted 130 kilograms?
133.
133, and set an Olympic record. So it's amazing to watch.
Actually, her world record was 142.
Okay, her all-time, she did beat the world record outside of the Olympics, and her all-time best was on the clean and jerk was 142 kilograms. She managed 131 today in Tokyo, which is still very impressive, given that the other women didn't get anywhere near that weight. Okay, so I'm going to quote an article about her, talking about her attempt to qualify for the Olympics. Is dated April 20th, 2021 in Taiwan News. It's titled, "Taiwan's Goddess of Weightlifting Sets 2 World Records and Earns Olympic Spot." Taiwan's Goddess of Weightlifting, Hsing-Chun, on Monday, April 20th, set 2 world records, won 3 gold medals, and secured an Olympic berth at the Asian Weightlifting Championships in Uzbekistan. While competing in the women's 59 kilogram division, Kuo started out the snatch category by easily raising 105 kilograms. In her next lift, she snatched 107 kilograms, setting a national record and tying the world record. On her third lift, she snatched 110 kilograms, winning her first gold of the match. She also shattered the prior world record of 107 kilograms set by North Korea's Cho Ho-sim at the World Championships in 2019. In the clean and jerk, Kuo faced some adversity as her first attempt at 133 kilograms was disqualified due to unsteady footing. On her second attempt, Kuo hoisted the barbell with rock-steady poise, assuring her a gold medal in the event and her second overall. For her last lift, she attempted the world record of 137 kilograms, which she appeared to raise with more ease than the lighter weight she struggled with before. With a combined total of 247 kilograms in the 2 lifts, Guo surpassed her previous world record for total weight combined, 246 kilograms, and captured her 3rd gold medal of the Games. Her wins secured her bid at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games because it marked her 6th International Weightlifting Federation competition since 2018. Weightlifters wishing to take part in the upcoming Olympics must have competed in 6 IWF events between November 18th and April 25th, 2021, and at least in 3 separate Olympic qualifying cycles over that period. So Guo was by far the best weightlifter at these Asian weightlifting championships back in April in Uzbekistan, and she was by far the best today at the Tokyo Olympics. And so she is, all Taiwanese people are very proud of her and congratulate her on her win, me included, although I'm not technically a Taiwanese citizen. But I know I could not lift anywhere near that weight, and it's amazing to see, a female weightlifter be able to lift that much weight. So kudos to her. So I haven't been watching a whole lot of the Olympic Games, but I did notice some.
You know how much it means to Taiwanese people?
It means a great deal because.
For a country that tiny?
Right. Well, let me lay out the history. I believe back in 1976, the father of the Canadian Prime Minister, Trudeau, the older Trudeau, offered to let Taiwan compete in the Olympics under the name Taiwan, but the Kuomintang government at the time refused because to them, not being able to use the name China was an insult. Okay, fast forward. Now China will not allow Taiwan to participate in the games using the name Taiwan or Republic of China, which is the official name of Taiwan right now. So the Taiwanese are very proud to get gold medals at the games, and especially with Guo because she blew away her competition. The Chinese didn't even dare put a competitor against her. And so this raises Taiwan's profile on the international stage. And talking about the status of Taiwan at the Olympic Games leads me into my next comment, and this is about some small controversy about Taiwan at the Tokyo Olympic Games. This article appeared in today's news in TaiwanNews.com. The title is China calls NHK's listing of Taiwan on Olympic medal table, quote, little tricks, end quote. China is accusing Taiwan of, quote, playing little tricks, end quote, after Japanese broadcaster NHK made a couple of notable references to Taiwan during the Olympic Games. Now, this is a big deal. Everybody in Southeast Asia and most of the Olympic officials around the world know this. It's taboo to say Taiwan during the Olympics because China gets angry whenever there is any mention of Taiwan because they don't want Taiwan to have any credibility on the world stage that would lend credence to Taiwan's independence, which in fact Taiwan right now is independent. But China does not want anyone to mention Taiwan at the Olympics. So this is a controversy because China got upset. So during the opening ceremony of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics on Friday, July 23rd, an NHK anchor introduced Taiwan's team as, quote, Taiwan, end quote, instead of the obligatory, quote, Chinese Taipei, end quote. In addition, as the country started to bag medals at the game, Taiwanese netizens soon noticed that NHK, the Japanese broadcaster, was listing their team as, quote, Taiwan, end quote, in Japanese kanji on the website's medal table. On Saturday, Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen posted a tweet in Japanese stating that no challenges can, quote, reduce the power of sport and the value of the Olympics, end quote. She then thanked Japan for, quote, making everything possible, end quote. During a press conference on Monday, July 26th, Beijing's Taiwan Affairs Office spokesperson Zhu Fenglian reiterated the communist country's claim that, quote, Taiwan is part of China, end quote. She stated that this principle should not be challenged and alleged that, quote, there is no way out by playing little tricks to seek independence through sporting events. You can only reap the consequences, end quote. So this is how petty China is being. They're complaining because the Japanese broadcasting company NHK used the name Taiwan in Japanese on their list of the Olympic medals on their website, and China is complaining about this. Okay, so the article goes on to talk about the 1976 Olympics, Montreal Games, that Republic of China boycotted, or Taiwan boycotted, because at the time they wanted to compete as the Republic of China, and they were not able to, so they boycotted the 1976 Olympics. In Nagoya, Japan, they came to a resolution in 1979 stating that Taiwan would compete under the name Chinese Taipei. And so that has stuck ever since, that naming. And China has vociferously complained anytime any country has referred to Taiwan as Taiwan. But that's not the end of their pettiness. Okay, China is complaining about the pictures of their athletes that are used on the internet. Evidently, they want to control which pictures you can place on the internet of their athletes in the Olympics. So in an article written by Keone Everington, dated today in Taiwan News, it says, Chinese wolf warrior diplomats cried foul on Saturday over a photo of a Chinese weightlifter at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. And I'll show you the picture here. This is the picture of the female Chinese weightlifter. And so this, evidently, according to the article, this photo was first posted by Reuters, Reuters news agency. And is, according to the article, this weightlifter's name is Ho Ji-hui. She was competing in the women's 49-kilogram weightlifting category. She placed first in the snatch with 94 kilograms and with 116 kilograms in the clean and jerk, clinching the gold medal and also setting an Olympic record. But the fact that she set an Olympic record wasn't enough for China. They wanted to dictate the terms under which media agencies could show pictures of their athletes. So they complained. It says the Chinese embassy in Sri Lanka was less than pleased with the photo that Reuters selected for Ho. Quote, among all the photos of the game, Reuters has chosen this one, which only shows how ugly they are, wrote the embassy. Now, if you've ever watched weightlifting, you know that during the lift, the competitors make faces necessarily because they are under a lot of stress. They're lifting a lot of weight. And so while they're lifting, their facial expressions are not necessarily suitable for a beauty shot. So this complaint is a bit ridiculous in and of itself, but there's more. The embassy then accused Reuters of putting, quote, politics and ideologies above sports, end quote, and implied that the news agency was being biased in its coverage of China. The embassy described the posting of the photo as, quote, shameless, end quote. Twitter user Matt Knight replied by posting a photo from China Daily, which is a propaganda machine of the Communist Chinese Party. It's an official Chinese newspaper. Okay, so this photo that was posted by the China Daily, China's own newspaper, was arguably just as unflattering as the Reuters photo. So I will show you the image posted by China Daily, which is a Chinese newspaper. So as you can see, it's arguably just as unflattering. I mean, if there is such a thing as a flattering weightlifter's pic as when they're lifting heavy weights. So after the Twitter user Matt Knight pointed out that China's own photo was just as unflattering of their athlete, they took the picture off of their website. Then on Sunday, July 25th, the Chinese embassy posted a tweet including photos of athletes from other countries that appeared to be more flattering and wrote, quote, maybe it's because everything good in life comes easier for white Westerners, end quote. This is blatantly bigoted, a blatantly bigoted statement. I can't say it's racist. Well, white is a race, so in a way it is racist. But they also mention nationality, Westerners. Well, Westerners not really even a nationality, but it is a cultural group. So I guess you could call it a racist statement. They're accusing other people of posting news agencies, Western news agencies, of posting unflattering pictures of Chinese athletes and posting flattering pictures of white Western athletes. So, and this is the Chinese embassy. This is an official branch of the Chinese government. These people are ambassadors. They're supposed to be representing their country, and they're saying that Western news agencies only show flattering pictures of white Westerners, which, I haven't done the research, but I'm betting it's blatantly false. Even China posted an unflattering picture of its own weightlifter, Ho. And as I said before, there are not many flattering pictures of weightlifters while they are lifting weights because the effort that they must use to lift the weights makes their face look a bit contorted. So China is trying to drive a wedge between Western society and Chinese society. And they're putting this propaganda out there to gin up ultra-nationalist sentiment in their own country. They want their people not to look at the failings of their own government, but to see the West as someone who is trying to keep them down, which is completely false. The West doesn't want the Communist Party to become the most powerful government in the world, for sure, because they're an authoritarian government. They use arbitrary judgment to punish people. If you're a friend of the Communist Party, you're not likely to be punished. If you say something negative about their party, Communist Party, you're likely to be punished. And so it's this micromanagement and this, obsessive level of control of the Chinese Communist Party that the Western society does not like and does not want to see in charge of the world. It's not the Chinese people, but China is still trying to drive the false narrative that it is a cultural war between Western and Chinese culture, which is blatantly false, demonstrably false. So be aware, don't fall for Chinese propaganda. And again, congratulations to Hsing-Chun for winning 2 golds in the snatch and the clean and jerk in today's Tokyo Olympics and setting 2 Olympic records. Thank you for watching American Teacher. Hopefully you'll tune in tomorrow for my next talk. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.